Right now, I'm about to show you how to French kiss a girl in an addicting way. Not literally, but I'm going to tell you about it. And ultimately, I also want to say, I remember my first time, my first kiss. I was 13 years old, and it was this Macedonian girl, and she was really cute at the time. And at the time, I had just started reading about girls getting good with women, so I started enacting it. I was in class, I started leaning back a bit, I started teasing her here and there, and eventually got to the point where she told me over AIM at the time that she liked me, and eventually I went out with her, and then I took her to my building. I took her to my building rooftop. That was the big plan. I was gonna take her to my rooftop and hopefully make something happen because we would now be alone. But the thing was, I was nervous as shit. I mean, I was a kid. I'd never kissed a girl before. I mean, especially some cute, pretty ass girl like that. And ultimately, yeah, I was just in a point where I was like, man, I gotta keep this poker face on. So I'm playing it cool. We get to the rooftop and we kiss. And I'm hype. I'm hype as fuck. I mean, I remember later on going into the house and fucking clapping the backboard. And for those of you not from the hood, clapping the backboard just basically means like, it's like in basketball when you clap the backboard as you hit a layup on somebody, because you know obviously most people can't dunk. I was in the house just clapping the backboard, but instead of clapping the backboard, it was really just like the top of the door frame. But I was just hype as shit. But what happened was an interesting thing happened that day on the roof. At the time, after I kissed her, I kind of embraced her for a second. We were alone, I kissed her, I embraced her, I kind of just held her in my arms. But at a certain point, she looked at me and she said, "Why is your hand so high?" And in my mind, anytime you think that a girl is mentioning your hand being too high, you automatically think it's going to be a negative thing. At the time, my hand was on her lower back. So I thought about it. I was like, wait, what? Why is my hand so high? That's when I realized, oh, she wants me to touch her ass. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I slide my little fucking hand down there and I'm just my hand is just resting on her butt. And to me, I didn't really do nothing else because I was so satisfied with just getting my first kiss and being able to finally check off that thing on my list and be able to just run around saying I had my first kiss and all that type of shit. But what I wanted to say was that this story was a perfect example of one of the number one things that you need to do to kiss a girl in an addicting way, which is to take the lead. At the time, I was a young lad, this high. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing, and ultimately I didn't take the lead. Now I took the lead a bit. I did take it to the rooftop, so I do give myself credit for that. I did kiss the girl, so I do give myself credit to that. However, you can just tell by what she said, what happened, that I was not in the mindset of taking the lead. She was taking the lead. She was damn near telling me what to do. She was telling me, leading my hand and whatnot. And ultimately, man, that's not what you want to be, because the duality between male and female is that of chaser and receiver. Now, that doesn't mean that you're constantly in that mindset, especially when you get into a relationship with the girl. You want to flip those roles and turn her into more of a chaser so that shit can work out long term, so you're not constantly over here feeling like you're gonna juggle pins and bowling balls just to fucking make her happy. But that's a little bit off topic. Let's back to the topic, which is kissing. And ultimately, man, say you're with the girl. There's gonna be moments where you have to take the lead and you're gonna have to do things where you're just gonna have to take a risk and you might just get rejected. She might just slap your hand off her ass. She might just pull away she might one of them type of fucking things once you kiss her, but that's okay. Because the fact of the matter is, if you do not take the lead, I'm telling you, that's gonna be way more disappointing to her and to you than if you do take the lead and at least get rejected. Because then, hey, she's still flattered, whatever the case is, as long as you know you take no for no, you don't push anything, you know, ain't Me Too movements out here. But the point is, for example, say you're with a girl. You might take her hand and just be like, hey, come over here for a second, I want to show you something. And you take her away from a public situation. That could be the start of that kiss situation. When you take her away from that public situation somewhere alone, then maybe you take her hands and you put them on your waist, or you even take a moment to just caress her face. We actually have a future podcast on the Jin Juice podcast on how to get physical. It's probably going to be coming out in a week or two, and every Tuesday at 8 p.m., just so you know. On every fucking platform, from SoundCloud, just look it up on an app or whatever the case was. But that is something that is very important. It's so key, because at the end of the day, women, they're not gonna make it easy for you, man. They're not gonna put them booze on you. I know sometimes it's nice. And you know what? Matter of fact, part of taking the lead too is making her do stuff. So I'm kind of wrong in that sense, because one of the most effective things that I've done, for example, in the podcast, my boy Juice, he said one of the greatest things I ever heard in my life. He said one of his biggest moves that he does when he's alone with a girl is the most smoothest shit I ever heard. I can't believe I'm stealing this shit, man. I'm sorry. But he takes the chick's hand and he puts it on his chest. On his heart, exactly. And he basically says, like, feel my heartbeat. Now, the reason this is so genius is because no matter what happens, it has a great outcome. Because, for example, if his heart is beating fast, it's flattering. It's like, look at my heartbeat. Like, look what you're doing to me. You're making me nervous right now. Obviously, you don't want to. It's a duality thing, because if your heart is racing, but you're looking at her confidently and you're like, yeah, you're making me nervous right now. That is incredibly, dude, her panties are gonna fucking drop. I'm telling you, that shit is the smoothest shit I ever heard in my life. Props, bro. And for example, maybe it's not beating fast. If it's not beating fast and her hand is on your chest, then it's like, hey, look, you know, my heart isn't beating fast at all right now. I guess that means I feel comfortable with you. That, again, that's great too, because that just builds the comfort. Now she's over here, and on top of that, there's something like on a metaphysical level when she could feel your heartbeat, because now she knows that she sees the 100% version of you. That's one of the most powerful things I ever heard. And that's a good thing, a nice little way if you want to start slowly, incrementally leading up to that fucking kiss. And when it comes to the actual kiss, number 2 is what you want to do is embrace what creates attraction. Let's think about it for a second. What creates attraction? If you listen to any dating coaches, they're never gonna give you a clear fucking answer. They're always gonna say attraction is created through being confident and playing the leader role and all that type of shit, which is true, but let's take attraction and break it down to a fundamental level. Let's say a magnet. When you have a magnet, how do you take 2 magnets and put it together? You take the positive and you take the negative. If you take positive and you take positive, what happens? They repel. That's why guys have this idea that, oh man, chicks like assholes, because when you act simply nice, they don't buy it, because this is a dualistic universe. This is some yin yang shit. Sun, moon, male, female, masculine, feminine. All of us, if you look at the yin and yang sign, it has that dot of each and the other one, for example. So you're masculine, you're feminine, you're dark, you're light, you're both. When you can create that tension, that's what's created. For example, during sex, what do you feel? You do not just feel affection. You're not there trying to make love to a girl like a Trey Songz video. Everything's all good and positive. You also have those moments where you just slap her and you grab her fucking hair and you spank her ass really hard. And that's what it is. It's a combination of affection and aggression. Positive and light. That's what attraction is, the combination of good and evil. And a lot of people, they don't know this shit. That's why we come into these big fucking debates where we feel like women, we come to the split role where a lot of dudes feel like, man, I know this is a bit off topic, but I don't know how to deal with women, because you see their evil nature and you start thinking, oh man, maybe they're just evil, but in reality they're dualistic. Attraction itself is dualistic. Even if you're the nicest guy in the world, I look through your porn history, I guarantee you I'm not just gonna see a bunch of missionary sex and you know what I mean? Like, that's just reality, okay? So when it comes to attraction, when it comes to kissing a girl, it's the same thing. You want to embrace that push, that pull. You want to embrace that combination of good and evil. So for example, you might take a moment where you just put her hand on your chest, or you caress her face, but then maybe you walk away, or then maybe you kind of pull away for a second. As you're kissing her, you kiss her really hard, and then maybe you push her off and you say, oh man, we shouldn't be doing this. Same thing a girl does. Oh my God, we shouldn't be doing this. You do the same thing. I mean, it's actually pretty amazing how much the average chick shit actually works great on them when you're just like, oh, no, we can't do this. We're not supposed to be doing this. That push pull creates attraction, attention. That is what attraction is at the end of the day. So when you're kissing a girl, get used to pushing and pulling, even on a micro level. You might just kiss her for a second and pull away a centimeter, let her lean in, then lean back, go forward, and 2 steps forward, 1 step back. That's why dating coaches say that all the time, but reality, what that is duality. That's what it all comes down to. So when you're kissing a girl, that's how you get her addicted. That's how you make it so that you are a fucking amazing kisser, because you have the ability to take her emotions, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. No amount of physical perfect technique can be more effective than that emotional roller coaster. Hey, we all say girls are emotional roller coasters, but that right there, that creates an emotional roller coaster, and that makes her look at you with this face of, man, I want his validation. I want him to like me, because he's so fucking, I don't even know. Like, I kiss him and I don't even know if he's gonna kiss me all the way. He might just pull away. That changes everything. That puts her in the position of chaser. That switches the duality, which makes her commit and invest in you, and ultimately makes you a great fucking kiss her. When you can grab her, you can take her, caress her face, kiss her gently, then push away. Or maybe kiss her gently, then kiss her really hard, and then push away. You show her affection, you show her aggression. Matter of fact, one of the most key ways, does not have to do with kissing, but one of the most key things, the most powerful things I ever used to say to girls when it came to sexually escalating is I would say to them, you know, when it got to a point where I was starting to talk slightly dirty, but not OD extreme or anything, I would say, like, I don't know what it is, but like for some reason with you, I feel this feeling. It's like on one hand, I just want to slowly kiss you up and down and tease you relentlessly and just like worship your body. But on the other hand, I just completely want to fucking throw you against the wall, grab you by the neck and just completely ravish you. That, and then I would say like, and I don't know what it is. It's like this weird feeling because it's like, I want you in a fucking affectionate way, but at the same time, I just want to destroy you. It's like a beautiful disaster, if that makes any sense. When I used to say that shit, oh my God, whew, bitches' panties would drop on the spot. It was like something inherently in them. Their dualistic part, it just stimulated both sides of them, the yin and yang side of them, where they were like, oh man, like, that's because that's what it feels. That's what sexual tension is. I mean, when you look at a girl that you really like and you want her sexually, you feel those two sides of you. One hand, you really, really like her, you want to kiss her, you want to be romantic, but the other side, you want to fuck the shit out of her. That's the reality. Even if you see a girl that's really attractive, when you have no feelings for her, you still, it's just the physical feeling of wanting to destroy her. But what the most powerful is when it's both affection and aggression, and that applies on both ends of male and female. And this is a little bit deep, and I like this because this is a little bit different than what you read all the time. I don't want to just tell you the same copy paste, be confident, push pull. I want to be able to explain it to you in a way where you finally get it. You're like, oh shit, that makes sense. Motherfucking magnets don't attract when it's positive. And once you embrace the fact that women are dualistic, you can approach every single situation and already know what to do because you already know their nature. You know, okay, if I kiss her, it's just natural for me to do push and pull. That's just how everything runs. And that ultimately, man, it's gonna make you a great kisser and it's gonna make you a serious problem on these streets, bruh. Seriously, man. So with that being said, bro, thank you for watching. And if you enjoyed this video, hit that video right there, hit that button right there so you can join that Elise notification game, bro. And if you want to continue your journey, pimp, hit that video right there. So with that being said, bro, unleash your best with women and beyond. And until next time, confidence is bred by competence. Peace.